In the Torah, in the beginning of the parasha, sometimes you have to put your heart into the pasuk. This is the last day of his life. Yes? And listen what Moshe is telling the Jewish people. Ben look at the 1094. Ben 120 shana anochi hayom. Moshe was born and he died on that day. Lo uchal od latzet ve'lavo. I cannot physically. Now, physically doesn't mean Moshe Rabbeinu could have run on Ocean Parkway faster than each one of us at the age of 18. He said, the reason I cannot lead you anymore is Hashem amar alai lo ta'avor. Hashem took my... The frightening part is, look at the Rashi. Look at the Rashi on the right column. 3 lines on the bottom. דבר אחר לצאת ולבוא בדברי תורה מלמד שנסתתמו ממנו בשורות ומעיינות. Torah is giving us, the Torah is portraying to us what a real leader, not an elected, powerful man. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm submitting everything I have. I cannot teach anymore, I cannot answer questions. Why? He is the new leader. Think about it. All your life, for 40 years, any question is you. And here he's saying,
well, I'm done.
I'm done. No, but he's saying it. He's telling it to the people. Don't talk to me. Yeshua is the one that is going to lead you.
Did he wake up one day or Hashem told him, this is it?
No, Hashem told him.
He told him, 12 o'clock this time, boom, you're out.
Also, but there's no question, usually people not supposed to know the day.
I'm saying also, the way you have to be super mature. This is it. It's over. There's a new leader.
Do we know this? It was Mincha, Shachrit. Do we know any of this? When this all was? Is there a timing, Rabbi?
I'm sure. If you look into it, you'll find
something. I'll say, Rabbi. Emsa Hayom Hazeh. It was 12 noon. The Israel said, we're not going to let him go up. So it went up noon time. Says, we're not going to let him.
Yeah, but what David is saying is, look a second in your Chumash. Let's jump from Yom Kippur to Simchat Torah. I mean, what you read is Simchat Torah. Look at that. What David is saying is written in the Chumash 3 times. That when the Jewish people came out of Mitzrayim, when Moshe Rabbeinu, when Avraham Avinu had a Brit Milah, and Moshe Rabbeinu, people said that we would not let him. So Hashem says he would walk in the middle of the day. The question is, David, does it mean 12? I mean, it's in the broad daylight. It could be 4 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon. It makes a difference, yeah? Look a second at the Pasuk describes how strong Moshe was the last second of his life.
So,
page 1122.
Over the 3 Moshe's death and Noah.
And
Noah.
Noah. Yes, Rashi says in Noah, Rashi says it. Look a second and 1022.
10:22.
11:22 or 10:22?
11, I'm sorry, 11:22. This is the last. ומשה בן 120 שנה במותו. לא קהתה עינו. ולא נס לא יכול להיות. תעשה לי פסוק, please, Rani. פסוק זין. Oh, 6.
Oh, 7, I'm sorry.
7. Moshe was 120 years old when he died. His eye had not dimmed and his vigor had not diminished.
And to prove that, it says like this. Go to 11:20. The first pasuk. Vayar Moshe me'arvot Moab el har Nevo. Moshe is ascending from the plains to top of the mountain. Rashi says he did it like a young kid is jumping from a step to a step.
Why does Rashi have to tell us his body didn't decompose?
Don't think that he was an old man.
I got it, but it says his fluids remained in him. In other words, we know the tzaddikim were like that. So why
I
do
know
we?
many tzaddikim
How do you
they
know?
couldn't walk 2 steps.
Yaakov, when he passed away, he knew he was sick
Kabbalistic
in his bed.
rabbis couldn't move. Who says that you have to be young? Again, Moshe was when you and me were 45 years ago. Torah wants to say the Torah kept him because Hashem chose him as a leader. And only when his mission is over to show you the greatness of a real Jewish leader. Yes. Look a second.
I mean, he knew when it's time to give up the reins, he gave it up.
But
He didn't give it up
with
easily.
dignity.
He gave it easily.
He did not. He prayed 515 prayers. We know that.
No,
No,
go
no,
in, not to stay a leader.
He said, I'll go in
pray
like
to be a leader. He didn't pray to be a leader. He wanted to go to Israel like a little kid, just going to Israel. He wanted the mitzvah of Israel.
So it's 2 different things. He wants to live, but not.
Sure,
be.
baby says, I'm over it. I just
I'm
want
good.
to be in Israel.
God.
I mean, it's the exact opposite from the world we live in, but okay. Look a second and go back to 1094. Vayikra Moshe,
Was one of Moshe's traits anav? Was he considered
it's
the
the
most?
only trait he had.
That was his most. That was his.
That's it.
that was his-
Look carefully at the jungle and the rat race that me and you live in, and you see that holiness is the worst enemy of society, and Moshe was.
The exact opposite.
This is why Moshe Rabbeinu merited to receive the Torah and give the Torah. Look at 1094. Pasuk Zayin. Vayikra Moshe liYoshua v'yomer alav le'nei kol Yisrael in front of everyone. In front of everyone. Introducing him not for follow-up. Chazak ve'ematz, you are the leader, you are going to take the people. The Gemara says, listen to a very interesting Gemara. The Gemara says that the elders of Israel said, Penei Moshe, the last day of his life, is like the sun, still like the sun. Yoshua is like the moon. The sun has its own light, and the moon is reflecting. So the Gemara says the elders said it. Why the elders? Everyone. The young people didn't see it. The young people, like always, said, okay, Yoshua is only 50. When he gets to Moshe's age, he would be like him. The elders say, we remember Yoshua 50 years ago.
Moshe 50 years ago.
Moshe 50 years ago was much greater. It is. The greatness of Moshe is not today because he was a leader for 40 years. We remember him as a young man. So the elders people say, listen, this is life. Moshe Rabbeinu, the last day of his life, writes a Sefer Torah, look a second, Pasuk Tet. Vayichtov Moshe et Torah.
So did Moshe wear a Torah on his, like a king on his arm? Or they never moved to that.
It's not mentioned anywhere. But normally, since Moshe Rabbeinu was considered the king,
Right. That's
you
right.
assume. However, the Torah was not completed till the last day of his life. So he couldn't wear the Torah that was not completed. There was no Torah yet. The Torah we know.
So they had no
But
form of Torah
Yoshua,
in the whole period of time.
they had a form of Torah that we have till the end of the Torah, but the form of a Sefer Torah we didn't have. ויכתוב משה את התורה הזאת ויקנה לכהנים בני לוי הנושאים את ארון ברית השם. And he says to the Leviim, place it near the Aron. So באמת here it says that he wrote only one. The Gemara says that he wrote a sefer and he gave it to each tribe. The 13th sefer that he wrote,
That's miraculous.
he gave to the Leviim to put near the Aron. The reason why you have to put it near the Aron is, we know history, every generation comes up with a new interpretation of the Torah.
So there's a question on all of these, whether they were totally complete, the last Pesukim, or
Okay,
they completed
but-
later. But I didn't know all. There was only one. I realized it's all these.
As you
all
know,
of
the
these.
Gemara says,
Yeah, obviously, I know.
the Gemara says in the Batra, that the
I
last
know.
8 Pesukim, which we read as Simchat Torah, Moshe wrote and Yoshua rewrote, or Moshe didn't write, whatever. Now Moshe is giving him two interesting mitzvot, the last two mitzvot in the Chumash. One is, look at the bottom.
He's giving Yehoshua 2 mitzvot.
He's giving the Jewish people. ויצב משה אותם לאמור, מקץ 7 שנים, במועד שנת השמיטה, when the Shemitah is over, בחג הסוכות, ובו כל ישראל לראות את פני השם, the Jewish people are in ירושלים, in סוכות, yes? Please tell on the page. במקום אשר יבחר תקרא את התורה הזאת נגד כל ישראל באוזניהם. Every Hoshana Rabbah you read through Sefer Dvarim. In the Hasidic community they take out the Sefer Torah and they read Sefer Dvarim from A to Z based on this. Look at the Rashi on the top right. So every 7 years the entire Jewish community, men, women and children, המלך היה קורא מתחילת אלה הדברים. The king used to read. כדאית במסכת זוטה על בימה של עץ, על a stage for wood.
Is that why some people read Sefer Devarim on Hoshana Rabbah Erev?
And this is exactly what you said.
That's the minhag, right? And that's where it comes from. Okay.
For the Sfaradim, read it, but they're not reading it in a Sefer Torah. The Hasidim, take it out.
What do we do, Rabbi?
We read the.
Whatever you do, it's a custom anyway. It's a custom anyway because the mitzvah is. The mitzvah is.
Real Shemitah, yes, or.
Well, the king read the whole. I thought it was certain parashiyot that he stopped. And
It's a machloket exactly what he read. Some say selected part of the Devarim. Rashi says, המלך היה קורא, look at the Rashi. בתחילת אלה הדברים.
So they didn't go get all the 613 mitzvot until the last day of his life. It was not complete.
Well, here Hashem is telling him to do it. What's very interesting about Sefer Devarim is the Grau Vilna lived 300 years ago. The Grau Vilna says here, how many parashiyot do we have in Sefer Devarim? 10. Says the Grau Vilna, the 6th millennium, which we are in 700, now 86, each parasha represents 100 years. Remember, this is written 7 years, 300 years ago. David, let's go. Devarim, Vayet Hanan, Ekev, yes, Rehei, Shoftim, Kitetze, Kitavo. Kitavo is the 7th. What is Kitavo?
all the curses.
All the curses. When did the Holocaust happen? The 7th Tafshin. It started in the year Tafshin. This is in print.
Wow.
300 years ago.
Wow.
Tafshin is 1940.
Okay. Tafshin Aleph, Tafshin Bet, Tafshin 9. Rosh Hashanah Tafshin was when the Germans attacked Warsaw at the beginning of the war.
And what's in the next one after Kitavo is
Nitzavim Vayelech. I mean, everything applies to us, but this is very famous.
So 15 years.
Now look a second. Look a second. Who is invited to this grand address of the Torah? And of course, if Rashi says that the king read it, what happened during the second temple? There was no king. So the Mechad Chinuch, all the Acharonim, they say either the Kohen Gadol or.
Well, same thing with Shoftim. There wasn't a king
Right.
Mamash during the Shoftim, and
Okay,
Shmuel. You want to
okay.
say Shmuel read it, or
Shmuel for sure, but the question is later, do Beit Sheni, who wasn't
There was
doing Beit
nothing.
Sheni? And so they say either the Kohen Gadol or. So look a second. Look at the 1096 on top. הקהלת העם, האנשים והטף. Now remember, this is reading the Torah, and men are supposed to be there, ladies, toddlers, the converts. למען ישמעו, למען ילמדו, ויראו את השם אלוקיכם. פסוק י"ג, ובניהם אשר לא ידעו, infants, ישמעו ולמדו ליראה את השם אלוקיכם כל הימים. So the question is, look at the Rashi. What's the point of bringing the taglets? Rashi says, "V'hataf." Look at the Rashi on the bottom. "V'hataf." Lama ba'u. Latet schar lemevi'ei. The Gemara says to reward the parents who bring them. What does it mean? Listen carefully, David. Someone tells you, you and your wife, man and woman and children. Right? So what do you do with the infants? You can't leave them in the house, it's far. You have to bring it anyway. Yes? Even if you would have bought them anyway, but if you do it because God told you that you're being rewarded. There are many, many things in real life that we would do even if the Torah doesn't tell us. To honor your parents, and to do certain types of chesed. If you add this machshava, I'm doing it because of.
I guess nobody would break into one of the times where they're protected. Nobody would break into their homes. They wouldn't lose anything. They,
Okay,
they bring the whole family.
Maran Psachim said, can you imagine you leave all your possessions? No, but it's an important message. The message is, but what's really written here is everyone that, let's say, was attending a few years ago, almost the second time, the Siyum HaShas in MetLife. Everyone felt it was a grand event. I saw a man from this community coming with 4 kids. The little one was maybe 5. So, remember, it was freezing.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Says to me, I want my kids to remember after I'm gone that they were there.
Sure.
My kids, MetLife, MetLife had once. I mean, imagine in the summer, a year and a half from now, we have it again, yes? No, but this is what the Torah says. You come into a grand event, this is what registers by kids. Look carefully, me and you are copy carbons, or whatever you saw in your house, yes? Customs that if you check them halachically, you can live without it, yes? But
You can never change it.
no,
It's too strong.
Again, I mentioned this before. On Pesach, I don't know, but I said my father used to squeeze the egg before we didn't. I have no idea. We still do it.
No, but you realize the beauty of that is because I'm holding to my father's custom. People don't hear that.
But does it make sense if you don't even know what it means anymore? Does it lose the whole reason? I mean, when you lose
Eli, no, I'm telling you, the only reason to do it is because I'm following my parents. I know a surgeon, and one big surgeon, very good surgeon. He says to me, my father served in World War II. I lost my father at a young age. He says, but one of the only things I remember from my father here is by Shema, before Shema, he used to take out his tzitzit. Remember, he was a kid. So he comes to me to explain to me exactly how to do it. He says to me, every time I do it. But this is the idea here, you understand? The Torah says, bring the kids, let the kids.
Remember it forever. What a child sees at 5, 6, stays with him forever.
A friend told me that his mother told him she was like 14 or 15. He's told, I'm sure his mother was told. She was taken to a concentration camp, not like Auschwitz that they tell you openly, left and right. Everyone met a doctor, and the doctor told him, go outside. There's no one gone. Go outside or go to the right, to the left. He says, he told my mother, whatever he told her, go to the right, she went to the left, and she survived. I asked my mother, no one, I mean, Auschwitz was very obvious, all the sick, they're all there.
As you know.
She says, because my father told me in Yiddish, it's very powerful. Whatever a goy tells you, do the opposite.
Oh,
Wow.
Look at
To
that.
us.
The father told me that.
My tattoo had made me so, he was crying when he told it to me.
Whatever he tells you, do
You hear
that.
what you said? The tattoo had made me so. Says, I realize that this man is not giving candies out. Yes, I was not brought here to
How
do
old was
it.
she? 14?
He says, this is exactly what saved her life.
Powerful.
But this is the message here. The message is, let the kids do. You don't realize, but I teach the kids. kids speak about the parents as if, but this is,
Even if it's not-
sometimes it's
sometimes-
nonsense. No,
Sometimes not halachically correct.
No, usually not.
no, but it makes a difference. You realize I'm holding on to something that goes back to
The best lesson, Rabbi, that I'm finding as a
generation
parent,
before.
the best lesson that I'm finding as a parent
Yeah, is
is
what?
by example, not by telling. By telling, nobody can hear anything anymore. I think everybody is deaf today. They understand, they watch you. What you do, I wanna do, you're gonna do, maybe, we hope. But they go by example. They can't hear you. Like you said, if you tell a kid today, do this, he's like that lady. They go the other way.
Right.
Is that what is that this whole generation, Rabbi?
Now generation much more because we buy them this. This teaches you. My father was nothing. So we are doing it. Don't worry. No, look a second. Your point. Look a second. This is
Said.
He said because we are doing it. We eat the food that we build. Don't worry. There's no one to blame but ourselves. You go to page a second. 996. You look at 996. You have to understand text to understand it.
992?
996. We say every day Shema and Vayayim Shamur. The Torah says that we are going to go on exile.
Where are you holding?
In a second, we're going to exile. Even on exile, you have to put the tefillin. Now look a second.
Well, Rabbi Prague, what kind of mitzvah is hakel? Is it a mitzvah that says Shazman Grama?
Right, and it's written in the Chumash. And the reason why ladies are obligated is because the Torah says openly ladies should come. Of course, it's mangrama. It's once in 7 years. And everyone, we have to realize that this is what he said before. If you have a farm, it's fat. You have to
Even
realize.
though it is man grama, it's an exception.
The Torah says so. Look a second, 996.
We have other examples of that, where the Gemara says it's a Zman Grama, and women are chayav or patur. Did you?
Matzah and Kiddush. Tonight's Kiddush.
Oh, right.
Tonight's Kiddush is mangrama. It's once a week. Matzah is once a year.
Shofar is
And
not,
the Torah teaches shofar is obligated.
but they still hung up.
No, matzah, she is obligated in the Torah. He's asking look a second in the Dvarim, Perek Yud Aleph, Dvarim, Perek Aleph. But pay attention, I'm reading it slow for that purpose. Mel, it's for you, look carefully.
Where are you holding?
Pasuk 19. ולימדתם אותם את בניכם. Remember, this is in plural. Me and you, everywhere you are, you have to teach the Torah to your kids. לדבר בם, to learn to speak, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. Very good, here David got it. Read the English to us.
You shall teach them to your children and to discuss them while you sit in your home, while you walk on the way, when you retire, and when you arrive.
Right.
There's no break. There's no break. You gotta keep teaching.
Yeah, but David got the point. The pasuk begins in plural. Hashem is talking to the Jewish people, and suddenly we switch to the singular. You see it?
What's the lesson?
What's the lesson?
Don't teach your son the learning. The teaching is when he sees you sitting with a book. He says, everyone
So
says
it goes from plural when you teach your children to versus teach yourself.
in general, teach. But if you really want to teach by being an example.
Example. Teach by example.
It's mefurash in the pasuk.
Nice.
Rav Volby, the famous mashgiach, used to have a banker in Switzerland, head of a big bank. He said the man was a prominent member of the banking community. His kids knew that at night he learns an hour. Even if World War III will start, don't knock on my door. He says all his kids remain religious, all his kids sit down. You know why? My father, the banker, it means all the bankers. His name is on the papers. It's 1 hour a day that the world is dying. This is the hour he learned. This is exactly his point.
Who, Rabbi Prague, the mitzvah of Hakel, who is the mitzvah?
Oh.
Hakel,
Who is the mitzvah?
Hakel,
Who is the mitzvah? Who is in charge?
right, in other words, it's Hakel, so it's not my job to be Makil, it's some,
So if you have time afterwards, you look in the Rambam in the Binyan Mitzvot HaKatzar, which means so he gives you how many mitzvot and who is in charge of. So Akel is a tzibur of the community, but the king or the leader is in charge to enforce it, so to say. Yes, it's an obligation for each one of us. Yes.
is it considered one of the 613?
It's written in Sefer HaMitzvot. It's written in Sefer HaMitzvot, of course. No, but you're asking on whom?
Right.
Who is in charge of execute people? It's not the court. It's me and you as a community, as a members of the community, but the court is my shaliach to do it. You understand?
So okay, so that makes me a
Charge to make a Kohen Gadol. It's exactly, I mean, there's no time, but the Rambam
Who's
is
the Betin? What's the Betin?
I don't know, say that the Betin is doing it on our behalf.
But is that how they make a Kohen Gadol, Rabbi?
Kohen
72?
Gadol. I like Kohen Gadol. Yes.
Rabbi, you mentioned something. Is there a default that everything is chayav chutz haaretz unless we're told so, or everything is chayav eretz Israel unless we're told so?
No,
For
so
example, the mezuzot al beitecha, and then we talk about the land. Maybe I can make an hekesh and say, chayav, when Baby Eretz Israel or something, or.
So what you remember is with everyone learns in Rashi. The Ramban brings the famous Chazal. Right tefillin, right mezuzot. The question is, why would you think that the Chutzah will be patur? It's not a mitzvah just man Rama. Okay, so yes.
Or is Zman have to do with Baby Eretz Israel? I mean, women, but not.
No, Zman Rama has to do with time or mitzvot that shurot ba'aretz.
Right.
Why is the Torah emphasizing mitzvah tefillin? Even if you go to exile, why would I think that patur? It's not connected to them.
So it has to be specifically connected to
Okay, so you have to look in the
Okay.
You look a second now, Larry, the last mitzvah of the Chumash is written also in this parasha.
It could people say for Torah.
Yes. Look a second.
Could I ask you I know it's not on the topic, just we learned
Rare questions are on the topic.
on Rosh Hashanah, if the Baal Tokeya makes the bracha, and he has you in mind, and he makes the bracha, and he makes the Shechianu, correct? And then he says, okay, I've done that. Then he says he blows the first 30, and then he gives it to somebody else to blow the next.
Brachot again.
But it seems like that's the one bracha that he should, because he needs such kavanah, so he can
know. The point is that when he made the bracha, yes, everyone, the one who replaces him was yourself. So your question should be, if the regular Baal Tokeh went on a tzala call, and another guy did it, yes, but the second said, the tzala member came back. He, of course, would have to make.
Okay, but it's like it's Totei Labor. I mean, it's the same thing.
Only to himself, not for the Kahal.
Okay, I see, okay.
Because the bracha is on behalf of the Kahal. He was not Yotzei with the
He wasn't there, okay.
And he wasn't there. Otherwise, everyone.
So hypothetically, tonight, you could start the Kiddush on your own and let someone else could finish it?
No, because, I mean, yes and no. Vayichulu, you can start, but if the minute you started Baruch, in the middle of a Baruch, you can never stop. So
no, but I'm saying Borei Priya Gafen, and then hypothetically, your son Shimon is there. Could he start Barasher Kishana Mitzvah Tavarat Sabanu?
Yeah, that's different. It's a
fascinating case. I'll tell you why. Because in Siman Reisha in Aleph, Rabbi Kiva Eger, listen carefully. Rabbi Kiva Eger wants to know what happens if the man of the house is not in. There is a child who becomes Bar Mitzvah on Shabbat, but we're not sure if he got puberty signs or not. Listen carefully what Rabbi Kiva Eger says. Kiva Eger says, remember, the kid can be motzi his mother mitzvot de Rabbanan, not the Oraita. Says Rabbi Akiva Eger, you hear? That the kid hold the cup and say Borei Priya Gefen. Let the mother
Oh.
say the rest of the bracha for herself. This is your case.
Concept, yeah.
Why? Because the actual kiddush is minat Torah. The borei pri hagefen is the one is midrabanan.
So therefore, there are two parts to it.
Right. So theoretically speaking, in your case, can be done. But normally, the one that is holding the cup, the kiddush has to be recited on a cup. But this is exactly your case. He said very famous. Reish Ha'inal, the Biur Halacha brings it there.
You can hand over the cup also.
Look at second on 1096. This is really the last mitzvah of the Chumash.
And then he said,
Pasuk 19. ועתה כתבו לכם את השירה הזאת. Here. This is a mitzvah that each one of us, if we can afford, we should write the Torah, ולמדה את בני ישראל, שימה בפיהם, make sure that they really know it.
why did say you can do books, Rabbi? You could make books, buy books.
So Mel Cohen is asking, how come the Rosh 700 years ago writes, and the Shulchan Aruch brings it, that today you can replace, quote unquote, the Torah with books. To write the Sefer Torah and put it in the shul is beautiful. Yes. But what is it? You read it once a week?
If you want to
Maybe,
bury yours.
maybe.
No, we're not talking about Shabbat. Let's see, regular.
If you're in Chabad in Omaha, you're going to have one Sefer Torah. That's it.
Yeah. Every year.
The answer is the Torah was written to learn from.
Oh, it's a reference.
What do we learn? If we learn Chumash every week, if you realize we're trying to learn moral values, yes, we're not going into the details. Says the Rosh, now that we have books that are really teaching us all the practical mitzvot, it doesn't say the only mitzvah is books. It says you can fulfill it.
Not replace.
It's a substitute of the mitzvah.
So what's the machlokes האחרונים? It does it the shach, is it this? You cannot substitute the mitzvah. See, Larry, if you remember a year ago, 2 years ago, Larry was asking, is a woman also chayav to write a Sefer Torah or not? It has to do with this Rosh. It's not Zman Rama. It has to do with this Rosh. If the interpretation of the mitzvah is to write, to learn, the woman is not obligated to learn. If the mitzvah is an independent mitzvah, write the Torah. Yes.
But theoretically, she can't write the Torah, can't she?
So everyone agrees she cannot write physically.
Physically, so maybe then.
The question is, me and you are also not writing a mitzvah. You assign someone to write.
Because I have the potential to write. Oh, then she doesn't have the potential to write.
This is part of the argument. It's a lot of argument.
So when the sofa writes a Sefer Torah, then he has to actually.
They said it. I told him, make sure, write the name of the person. I'm writing it as a shaliach of this and this fellow. And Bezrat Hashem, when we complete it, we will have to say it again. I'm completing it on behalf. But this is exactly what it is.
We do the last letter.
That you do is, I came to a fellow in my shul the other day, exactly the last Sunday, Sefer Torah. So the sofer says to me, I told him, he whispers to me, the owner wants only if you went to Tibet today. I said, I didn't go anywhere, I would not write because my hand is not sturdy.
His hand, right.
So I was holding the hand of the sofer, and the sofer wrote it for me. Okay? I have a picture writing the Sefer Torah. You know what I mean? Listen, the real question is, the Torah refers, the Pasuk refers to the Torah as a
Shira.
Shira. What is Shira?
Song.
Now, David, how would you define a good song? What is it?
And you could remember the words.
Either the tune or the lyrics.
The uplifting.
Like the Hassan. Elevates it every long.
Songs that I know.
I saw last
30 years ago.
David, I saw last night. He said to kids in class sometimes, I say the principal announcers, which never happens, that the Nobel Prize winner for medicine is passing now, Avenue J. Maybe 2 kids in school would go see it. But one of these superstar, the entire school in a second. Of course. Right? Says here, teach the Torah to people as if you are teaching a song. You're never bored repeating the song, hearing the song, singing the song. This is what the Torah is about. David, there's a pasuk in Tehillim that David HaMelech says, Zmirot hayu li chukecha. Zmirot. The Gemara said that David HaMelech was punished for using the metaphor of Zmirot. What is the difference between?
So he copied the pasuk.
I thought
Everybody has
say,
It's Kuf Yutet. I think it's Kuf Yutet.
right, he's right, it's in Kuf Yutet in Uzay. The answer is David. A melody, I'm not obligated to read, to sing. I enjoy very much when I'm learning. When I'm singing it, I'm enjoying it very much. The Torah says Shira means that every fiber in your body feels the music. You understand?
Yeah.
When you see kids going to concert with the jump up and down, it's only externally, doesn't go in. Real melody goes into your bones. This is what ועתה כתבו לכם את השירה הזאת. Rav Kahneman used to tell over the story, very famous story, the war between Japan and Russia. So you know the Russians, like every war, you have to cover your windows, the enemy should not, especially if you live near the border. An old rabbi never heard the decree, and he left, the window. And of course, he's learning at night by a candle.
Yeah.
And a platoon of Russian soldiers are coming. You're definitely a trainer. Here you are with a candle sitting around. I mean,
They don't know what he's doing, of course.
anyways, so they told him, we are going to honor your last request. You know what he said? Really? Yes. He said he wants to finish the page.
Does he say he wants it?
Finish the page.
Before the shooting, he wants to finish the page of the commander says it's not a spy. Let's make sure next time. Can you imagine the last request? I mean, they were ready with a gun.
He finished the page of Gemara.
By him, the Gemara was Shira, not as music, the lyrics that the teenagers listen. This was his life.
So how do we know that David didn't mean it in that way when he said it?
This is one of the interpretations. No one can prove it and no one can. But the message is very clear. And again. Is it music or it's oxygen? There is a song that oxygen. Right. Think in your life, what song speaks to you?
If you go, especially, you have a hazan and a high
You
holidays,
have a good
it
chazan.
elevates your
You're inspired.
elevates
But
your
that's what it's supposed to do, Ron.
It's supernatural. It's not something you can measure.
It says music talks to your soul, whatever that means.
Yeah. And all the religions that have these songs, I mean,
Yeah.
The OU magazine had this.
Well, what?
Are you allowed to have a real chazan in the shul in the machloket if you can't have a chazan? In this week's this month's OU magazine, halachically.
Question is, can he? Okay, but listen, we are human beings and we have a Shabbat Shalom. We know from
A
Shabbat.
good Shabbos, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat shalom, Larry. Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, Hikes.
Shabbat shalom.
The Bati came to me right before Shema.
Oh, I
and
heard
said,
about this.
can't get it out. He's trying for 5 minutes. He can't get it out.
Where's the
You have to
Wow,
come out
wow,
now.
wow.
The boy was not.
Wow.
So I left in the middle. I went up, and then he says, "Okay, I don't know if you have to say Berachah." I was like,
In middle Shema, of course.
"No, I wasn't. I was right before Shema. I finished Berachot Shema right before Shema."
Yes.
So I thought, okay, if I don't say,
by tefillin, you have to put it, but without the bracha before
so what?
the
So I said Shafat. Did I do right? I said the Berachah because I thought if I don't say Berachah, then I'm not being motzi myself. I'm not being motzi myself. I can be motzi them.
David, you really wanted to be your tzeh?
I thought if I'm not Yotzeh, that I'm not being Motzeh the Kahal.
No, this is okay. This is wrong.
I thought But we said,
As a
only
matter of-
someone who's a bar
as a
chiyuv.
matter
You
of
already
fact-
said the
As a matter of fact, but David, people suggest to a Baal to care, who does it many times, you should be ever kavanah to be Yotzei at the end. Because after you Yotzei the first
Or it's
time,
done.
how can you Motzi the others only for good? This way you're still Chayav. You are Chayav. If you are a Gavra Bar Chiyuv, you hear his question, Larry. He says, on Rosh Hashanah, he was holding Yotzei HaMeorot. He came to him in another minyan. The Baal Tokea cannot utter one word of the shofar, cannot blow. Maybe there's a Baal Tokea mumche. So he came before he said Shema to blow for them. His question was, should he say the barachot or not? Here is your question.
First is he
But
committed.
here is in the middle of tefillah.
Yeah.
So David says the reason he said it because he figured, if I'm not Yotzei, how can I be Motzi? The answer, of course, is you can be Motzi because you are a Gavra Bar Chiyuv, you are Chayav. Because many poskim say if you are blowing in 10 places, have a kavanah to be Yotzei, but the last one, not the first. Because then you are Bar Chiyuv non-stop.
The whole way.
He's going
Let's
to
say
minyan to
later,
minyan.
if you'll be about to carry your shul, you only come to deal of Arvut. This way it's not Arvut, I'm Chayav. Anyway,
That was the question I had when I came back to the
David,
second minyan. I
David,
said,
David,
Beracha,
David,
Shechianu,
David, when you say
al
Hashem,
Arvut.
yeah, when you say Hashem, you don't have this in mind. Baruch Hashem.
If that's what to say it, so how can it be?
Again, David, it's the opposite. You are much more chayav before you are Yotzei than after you are Yotzei. You can do it both ways. So for Rashi and Shulchan Aruch, it's not the same.
Oh, it is?
Someone was telling me that they went to blow for somebody's mother, for a woman, and they said the bracha. I said, no, really? He said, no, you're not supposed to say the bracha. She was Sephardi.
It's a one's open against the Shulchan Aruch.
That's why they said, oh, really, whatever. They said, what about